Hola, everyone, and welcome to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host of Café con Leche every Friday. Here's what's coming up in today's show. First up, explorer and host at Fulton Fish Market Events, Justin Fornal, is here to talk about one of the Bronx's top Valentine's Day spots this year. And then we're joined by Rodney Johnson, producer of a new BronxNet show titled A Spin to Match that aims to build intentional relationships. And after that, executive director of FlowerSchool New York, Calvert Crary, joins us to share his tips on flowers and floral design. And finally, today's Open Artist Spotlight shines on Talia Castro-Pozo, who's closing out the show with a salsa dance performance in celebration of Latin Monday's 20th anniversary. So sit back y prepárate. All this and more is headed your way, because now we are officially open. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. I'm Rhina Valentin, your host, y Café con Leche. For the next hour, inviting you to get social with us online. That is, follow us on Instagram at BronxNet TV or like us on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. And of course, while you're there, don't forget, follow moi on FB, Instagram, Insta Stories, Threads, and LinkedIn at Rhina Valentin. Bueno, everyone, welcome to our Valentine's Day episode, carrying love in the air. We have a show filled with unique events and great gift ideas for that special someone. And our first guest, the Bronx's official culinary ambassador, has served the borough for years, creating the Emmy-winning docuseries Bronx Flavor. Y'all remember that? Which first premiered right here on Open Fridays and showcased the culinary traditions of the Bronx's migrant communities. And since 2011, he's been an Explorers Club resident fellow, producing content for National Geographic, Discovery, and Science channels. And most recently, he's partnered with the Fulton Fish Market Cooperative, America's oldest fish market that's been operating for over two centuries. Oh my gosh, 2 centuries, and is the world's second largest fish market. And this Valentine's Day, the Fulton Fish Market in Hunts Point is holding an event called Absinthe and Oysters. And here to share the details behind the unique gathering, we welcome back to Open. He's no stranger to this show. I'm so excited to have him on. Everyone, welcome Explorer, host, and historian Justin Fornal.
Thank you, Rhina. That's an incredible intro. I was like, who is this person she's talking about?
How amazing, though. I mean, you know, just from one colleague to another, that's a lot you've accomplished.
Well, thank you, and it's always great to be here at BronxNet, and great to see you. And it's we always enjoy watching you and spending time with you. But it's also great to be here in your house.
Yeah, we love having you home, or coming back home.
Of course.
And I do. You know what I love about your projects is that the way you choose them and the topics that you choose to discuss and the way you go about it, right, which is unique. And I know we're here to talk primarily about this upcoming Valentine's event, but I do want to talk a little bit about how you've expanded and your historical work.
Sure. I mean, it's always fun to tie education, experience, food with the idea of community and ways for people to interact. You know, and I think that getting education off the page and into people's hands, into their surroundings, into what they're wearing is always fun. So anytime I can do collaborative events like we're doing with the Fulton Fish Market Cooperative, where you go in, you're going to have a beautiful dinner, the freshest fish in New York, prepared by New York's top chefs in this really unique environment. But also in there's, the maritime legacy, the history, the music that would go around, the world of fishmongers. So that's what I really enjoy, is those kind of things where how can you have, one group might, so we're going to give you one of these elements, we're going to combine all these into one night. You know, and I really love those experiences because you come away satisfied, your soul and your spirit, but also with a full stomach and also with a full mind.
Right, exactly, and that's the point I'm alluding to, is the fact that while it's fun, there's that educational component in which you yourself do a lot of research, and so I'm just very curious to learn, how do you find this information? Like, some of this information that you find, it's like, okay, who thought about that? Like, what intrigues you to even dig for that type of information?
Well, it's, you know, it's like I'll be doing historical research. I have a library in my home of over 1,000 books that I've carefully, you know, chosen and curated over the years. And the information to really, if you're getting deep, it's not right there on the page. It's usually in the footnotes. Especially if you're reading a book from 100 years ago, there might be alluding to a recipe for something like oyster ice cream, and you're like, this was the most popular ice cream in the world at one point. What?
I know.
And
I'm
then
like,
you're like,
oyster ice cream?
And then you're like, oh, this hotel had, this was like their #1. So it's just really interesting, but it's usually kind of hidden away, and it's just, you dig, you know, kind of digging down, and then you just go down another rabbit hole and another rabbit hole, and you're just, you know, it's the joy of learning, even as an adult. It's just every day you learn something new. And it's not going to be on Google. It's not going to be in ChatGPT.
Right.
Sometimes you got to go to the library and dig deep, and then you're just on another adventure.
Right, and then also you got to go and explore and experience these type of events where you're learning and having fun at the same time.
Exactly.
Right, and so just because you said oysters and ice cream, I'm like, oh my gosh. What a combination.
Wow, yeah. But even better is oysters and absinthe.
Okay, is that all right? Well, yeah, that's different, right? Let's talk a little bit about absinthe.
So,
because I was told it's a hallucinogenic, or at least the research I did.
Yeah, no, absinthe is so fascinating because it's essentially an aperitif that has, you know, a multitude of herbs in it. It's made kind of like gin. So you'd have a neutral spirit, all the herbs will be added, they'd be steeped, and then it'd be distilled a second time. So, but absinthe has this kind of legendary lore to it, that it's a psychedelic, that it'll make you mad, it'll be crazy, that you know, it's what vampires would drink it instead of whatever it is, but all that is just really just pages of the book of history. And, you know, there was campaigns against absinthe in the early 1900s, because it was the target.
Right.
But in no way is absinthe a psychedelic. In no way is it any different than another alcohol, other than its flavor.
And so why is it called Green Fairy?
The Green Fairy. So absinthe is a very clear green, you know, it's got a clear green spirit. And then the way you drink it, you don't drink it like a shot. You'd put it in a glass, 1 part, and then you do 5 parts water. And when the water hits the absinthe, a chemical reaction occurs where you see it turns from this kind of green, almost like an emerald, like a light pale emerald, and then it turns into a white-green opal. And they say that loche, when the water hits and it kind of explodes in that color, that is when the Green Fairy is escaping.
Oh.
And so you're drinking this, and the idea, of course, if you drink too much, the fairy is in your mind and you're going to embark, you know. But once again, it's such a unique historical drink that has a lot of ceremony and ritual to it. But it's of course, it's just as safe as having anything else.
Right, another alcohol.
Another alcohol,
no, right, exactly. So, all right, so, and I understand you're going to be doing some kind of ceremony with it.
Yeah.
And there's a ritual behind it, but I want you to walk us through what people are going to experience stepping into this event, because I understand there's also hot tubs in an oversized refrigerator.
Yes. So, quick debrief, you know, the world's greatest fish market is right here in the Hunts Point section of the Bronx. It is a 400,000 square foot refrigerated area. That's the size of 4 football fields that are refrigerated. It is open from roughly 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. The rest of the time, it's not an active space. So we've been, you know, working with the wonderful people there, Talia Castro-Pozo and their entire team, say, how are we going to activate this so the folks of the Bronx and beyond can come in here and have a good time? So we've got this amazing event series for 2026. We did a kind of a test event in October, but the first one we're doing is Absinthe and Oysters, a Forbidden Valentine's Dinner.
A Forbidden Valentine's
For Valentine's Dinner, you come in, and just for everyone listening, you need to get your ticket now. We're going to give you the information, but you can come as a couple.
Right.
You can come by yourself. You can come with a group of 4 to 10 friends. This is for absolutely everyone who just wants to have a really cool experience in a very unique space. And of course, there's a full dinner. Absinthe and oysters are a very small part of the evening, but we're going to be having the world's best absinthe, Delaware Phoenix, made here in New York State. We have the absolute freshest oysters, and and once again, if you love City Island, you love all these restaurants, all the fish is coming from the Fulton Fish Market.
Right, right.
So why go straight to the source, and you're getting it right off the boat.
Right.
So if you like quality food made by top chefs, this is an event for you. So, but on the next tier, of course, we wanted to juice things up. We have 15 brand new hot tubs, never been touched, never been soaked in, that are going to be there that night for people who want to have a VIP ticket experience. So you can have your absinthe and your oysters or sparkling wine, whatever it is you want.
So you could dine in the hot tub?
You can dine in the hot tub.
Oh my God.
So once again, I mean, I'm not a selfie type of guy, but if you want to have a moment to remember with your friends or someone who's a special person to you, what's better than doing it in a hot tub in the South Bronx, in the Fulton Fish Market, in terms of just like, so what'd you do for Valentine's Day? Let me tell you what I did. It's not going to even sound real.
I know.
But let me tell you what I did for Valentine's Day.
All right, so we're talking about 55-degree refrigerator, right?
Yes.
But no, because we're talking about the hot tub and people have to put on their bathing suits.
Yes.
And where do they change?
So people, once again, there's only a few there's limited edition hot tub. You got to get those.
You got to reserve those in advance.
Yeah, you got to reserve those
and it's for 4 people at a time, from what I read.
It could be for 2. It could be for 1. You could be by yourself.
Oh, okay, got it. You just got to reserve that.
You want a bowl like that and just be like,
yeah, this is my hot tub.
or you can have maximum of 4.
Okay.
Okay, so, but there's also general admission, which is just you're going to come in, you're at a table, you're having a beautiful dinner. But the whole area is a giant refrigerator. So we're saying it's cold air or frigid air couture. So you're coming out in your jackets, you're coming out with your hats, you're coming out with your Timbs, whatever it is, but you're dressing to be warm. You know, so just, and the people, the best dressed frigid air couture individuals, 2 of them, will get free tickets to our next event, which is March 28th.
I like that.
So it's a whole different, and what I tell people.
And you have a live band too, right?
We have, yeah, Jeremy Bosch, Quintet, which is going to be Licensed to Love Quintet, which are insane. Talk about smooth, like white linen, having a, Moscato on the veranda type music. This is going to be, it's just going to be a surreal, incredible, immersive, fun experience.
I always have a blast at your events because it's just like we never know what to expect, and so the fact that you've got these hot tubs in this oversized refrigerator, and people have to come dressed winter couture, and you have a live band, and you got the oysters, and you have this absinthe ritual.
Yeah.
Is there anything I missed?
Well, like I said, the one thing that's always important to me when I host an event, and this is why we teamed up, was we want people to come to the Bronx to have an experience they can't have in Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, or Manhattan, or anywhere else. So you have to come to the Bronx to do this, as opposed to us trying to copy what other people are doing.
Right.
You come to the Fulton Fish Market to have an experience that you can't have anywhere else. And that's the key. You got to come here to experience it. And so all the events will have something that no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you're going to have experience you've never had before.
Yeah, and
that's the Fulton Fish Market.
Hello, with you, of course, Justin Fornal. It's always an experience just being in your presence, and I mean that endearingly, of course.
Thank you.
But we're so happy that you brought it here to our viewers.
My honor and pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited about this, and that's why we brought you on, because we wanted to offer people something unique, something different, instead of the typical, the traditional. It's kind of like, hey, let's get wild and crazy.
Right. Exactly. And one thing I will add is that I will be going around personally and having different historic aphrodisiacs that I'll be offering for people to taste that are in the food world. And perfumes, things, frankincense and myrrh from the Horn of Africa, things that are kind of enchanting and just to give you those different kind of visceral experiences.
Yeah, and alter the emotions.
Exactly.
All right, Justin Fornal, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yes, how exciting does this sound? Once again, we're talking about absinthe and oysters, which is taking place on Saturday, February 14th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., and that's happening at the Fulton Fish Market in Hunts Point, which is located at 800 Food Center Drive, entrance B, in the Bronx. And for more information and tickets to the absinthe and oyster event, take out your phone right now, because we've got this. You can scan the QR code for all the details. That's right here on the screen. All right, and for more on Justin Fornal, you can follow him on IG at Justin_Fornal. All right, stay tuned. There's more open when we return.
There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the BronxNet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined a generation. One destination, 2 powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, FiOS 2138, and streaming at BronxNet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment.
eco-leaders.
We learned that everything starts with ourselves. Then we have to educate ourselves. Then we have to build community and use our imagination.
Eco-leaders unite from the future to save the past, heal the planet and make it last. We find solutions with knowledge light. Venture forth, eco-leaders unite.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. My next guest is a creative visionary, Liberian-born member of the BronxNet television community. His mission is to live and create with purpose, having survived 2 brutal civil wars in Liberia and Sierra Leone. He transformed adversity into inspiration using art and entrepreneurship as powerful tools for change. And he joins us today to discuss his latest project, Spin to Match, the intentional dating show that champions love, clear communication, and mutual understanding for a thriving society. And the program aims to bridge the increasing emotional divide between men and women by fostering intentional conversations for meaningful, purpose-driven relationships. Let's take a look at Spin to Match.
Maybe that's the old-fashioned in me. I don't know. So that kind of turns me on sometimes, surprises.
What do you make of that?
I feel like that's not old-fashioned. That's just the way things should be. And I love doing things like that. I'm the kind of person, I'll come in, maybe I'll see something outside that you may like and I'll bring it. Or you may be having a down day, I'll surprise you with some cool event or maybe...
Oh, where have you been?
In the Bronx.
How beautiful. We say yes to the possibility of love. Brava. 2 months in. I love that. Everyone, please welcome playwright, fashion entrepreneur, and producer of Spin to Match, Rodney Johnson. How lovely.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to have you on, and congratulations on this new endeavor.
Thank you, thank you.
How fun.
Thank you, it's fun, it's fun.
So let's talk a little bit about your background, because I love the language that you use to describe your motivation and your mission, which is the intentionality.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The intentionally as far as the show or my background?
Just in general, like I want them to get to know you a little bit.
Right.
And we can't go through your entire trajectory.
Right. We'll spend all day doing that. We'll spend all day. Well, I was born and bred in Liberia for 9 years. There was a civil war, and I moved to Sierra Leone. There was another civil war. So I use my experience as a bouncing board to make a meaningful impact in the world, pretty much. I actually produced an off-Broadway play. That's the subject for another day. So my mission in life is to actually make an impact in lives on a daily basis if necessary. So this venture is one of those impacts as far as making a meaningful impact in the world. Is one of those projects that I am backed on. Because where I grew up, Sierra Leone in Liberia, it's mostly a patriotic society, and everything is structured, right? Moving to America, modern relationship is quite different from how I grew up. Grew up in a 2-parent household. Dad worked, mom took care of the kids.
Right.
So coming over here posed a challenge for me personally.
Right.
So I'm looking at the dynamic, I'm like, this is weird. So I got to create something different. So being on the dating apps online, for example, you are inundated with so many different options, right? And that leads to what psychology calls, psychology of choice. Psychology of choice leads to endless swipes,
right,
and you feel overwhelmed at the same time,
right,
and that leads to nothing. People end up being frustrated, and they get tired of dating apps. So Spin to Match dating I'm trying to
No.
spin to match dating show was the need to fill in that void. I decided to fill in the void based on my experience growing up and my experience coming to America. There's a difference. There's a cultural shift now. Obviously, people are going online to find love. Social media plays a role as well.
That's a generational thing too.
It's a generational thing. It's a
Right.
cultural shift.
Right.
That's
well,
what it is.
Yeah, in general, right?
yeah.
Well, but I would say generationally.
Okay, well, so you can fill me in on
No,
that.
well, see, no, because we live in a society of swipe.
Okay.
We live in a society where people are creating identities that are not truly who they are.
True. That is true. You're absolutely right. You know, so the generation of swipe, you know, it's not just swipe. Social media plays a role as well.
Right.
Because we are emotional first before logical, right?
Right.
And social media feeds into the emotional aspect of who we are.
Right.
That's why people crave for what? Validation, right? You want to know if someone likes your post, if someone really cares about how you feel, you know, so we care about all of that stuff. So the algorithm feeds into that validation, and that creates a problem. So I decided to create this show, right? I decided to create this show in a way that is different from what social media and dating app present. The difference is it's fun, it's structured, and there's an end. There's a beginning, there's a middle, and an end.
And okay, and we have a spin wheel, which we're going to get into. But number one, how do you choose your contestants? And then you have to walk us through the format.
Okay, that's a good question. So basically, I have my website, spintomatch.com. You have to go on the website and apply. You can do it through social media as well. So when you apply for the show, then you fill out a form. There's a screening process. You know, we just don't allow everybody to come on the show. You got to be single. You know, you got to, if you are healed, we ask people, believe it or not, ask people, are you healed?
Right.
Or are you working on yourself?
Right.
Because we don't expect everyone to be perfectly healed, right? We are work in progress.
Right.
So you got to go through that screening process first.
You actually ask that question, are you healed or are you work in progress?
Yes, I do.
That's good.
I do. I think it's important.
Yeah, because I don't think anybody's healed personally.
Nobody's
I think
healed.
we're all a work in progress.
Right.
Yes.
But I still ask the question, are you healed? And the follow-up question, are you working on yourself? Right? Heal or working on yourself. If you're working on yourself, then it makes sense to come on a dating show.
Right.
Because you don't expect someone else to work on you for you.
Right.
Right? And that is one of the challenges in today's dating scene.
In relationships.
In relationship, period. Period.
We're like, we're
right. So, and then we do the selection process. People come on the show, you know, so the idea is to be able to match three couples, three males, three females, right? And the guys will have the option to spin, right? Because obviously the guys chase, right? We do the chasing.
Got it.
Right. So you see, there's a difference again from dating apps. You know, the men actually chase. So you come and spin, and you find your match. That's the first phase. Once you find your match, let's say I match this lady right here. She will be the one I'll have that date with on the show. And then we'll go through a series of intentional dating questions. That will be the next phase of the show. These are examples of the questions I have here. You know, so they'll select, each person will read. Will you rather find love on an island or in a city, for example? I'll answer that question, you answer the question. We go through these intentional dating questions until we decide whether it's a match.
Okay, so what's the question?
Yes.
Oh, you want me to ask you the question? I'm going to ask you the question. All right. What's a lesson from your past relationship that you made better today?
Oh, that's a very good question. Personally, I would say most of the time when I'm in a relationship, because I have a very good heart, sometimes I tend to overlook red flags, you know, and so I realize I have to move away from that because I'm actually sabotaging myself by doing that. So that's one thing I'll say I learned.
That's wonderful. All right. I like these questions. I'm going to ask you another one. All right. These are great questions. This is a trust and boundaries question. What boundaries are most important to you?
Boundaries most important to me. Loyalty. I'm very big on loyalty. I'm also very big on family. You know, I don't hang out with anyone who is not close to their family because that's where I grew up on. Family is very big in my culture. We're very big on family. So those boundaries are very, very important. And most of all, you know, just be disciplined. That's it.
Beautiful. And so, yeah, so you're actually questioning values and to make the match as well. It's not solely matching on the spin.
No,
wheel.
it's not just matching on the spin. It's deeper than just spinning. You know, there's the aspect of the questions.
So, okay, so you spin, and then you said the gentlemen spin first.
Right, they spin.
And then after they spin, who does the questions?
Both parties.
Okay, so, and this is all happening at the same time?
At the same time.
Okay.
So just like you just asked me that question, I answer it, you have to answer the question too. Because if we're on a date, I want to know a follow-up of that, right?
So it's kind of like they're doing a speed date in real time.
In real time, right.
On the show.
On the show, right.
I love that.
There you go.
I love that.
Right.
And so what have your success stories been thus far?
Well, we've had 2 success stories so far. We've done 6 episodes, and so I'm really excited. That was the first couple. They actually matched, and it was beautiful to watch, organic, you know, and it was amazing. The journey have been spectacular so far. And so I'm really happy for these guys. They love each other. The love is genuine. If you watch that show, you can go on our website and check it out. You know, we do the follow-up after the show. So there's another one coming up as well. And we'll actually screen that as well, too.
So you're actually keeping tabs on the couples that you've matched up.
Yes, we do follow up. We don't just do the show. We follow up with them. How is the progress going with your dating life, you know? Because, again, ultimately, we want to actually bring people together, you know? Because if you look at America right now, the marriage rate across the board is like 48%, you know? And it's dwindling as the years go by, you know? And minorities are actually at the bottom, way bottom. For black people, it's like 31%. That's not good.
No.
You know, and you know the relationship between marriage and economic as well.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the median household income across the board for everyone, especially those at the bottom, is actually very low as well. So there's a connection there too.
Got
So
it.
this show is bigger than just a dating show.
Oh my gosh. I could sit here and talk to you about this, and we're already out of time, but I just love the social consciousness approach that you have with this, and I'm so happy that we're able to present it to our viewers, and of course we're happy to introduce you to our viewers as part of the BronxNet family.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So thank you, everyone. Rodney Johnson. Okay. Once again, you can watch Spin to Match every Saturday at 8 p.m. on BronxNet Channel 68. And for more information, and if you're interested in becoming a contestant on Spin to Match, you can go to spintomatch.com. And you can also follow Rodney on Facebook at Rodney Johnson. All right, stay tuned. There's more Open when we return.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. "55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. "34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit BronxNet.org to learn more.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Open. So, my next guest spent more than a decade working as a professional lifestyle and fashion photographer before transitioning into the floral world. Since 2010, he's been a mentor and educator, teaching floral design programs both nationally and internationally. He founded FlowerSchool New York, a state-licensed career development school that emphasizes real-world training. His influence is wide-reaching, having launched many of his students' careers in floral design and helping establish top floral designers grow their businesses. And he's an influential author in floral design as well, with works including Flower School, a practical guide to the art of flower arranging, and co-authored titles such as the Encyclopedia of Cut Flowers, What Flowers to Buy, Where to Buy Them, and How to Keep Them Alive Longer. Here to share more about flowers and Flower School New York is internationally recognized floral designer, educator, and the executive director of Flower School New York, Calvert Crary. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm already in Zen mode.
Wow, so we have a lot of things in store for you. So Flower School, and the flower business in general, is a very apprenticeship-styled business, and it has been throughout the centuries. But for Flower School, we have a really great program to sort of teach people about flowers so that they can enjoy them as well. Because I think that the number one thing that people want out of flowers is they want them to last a long time. And number two, they want style, elegance, and luxury, all of which are available from any flowers you buy, whether it's at the deli, Trader Joe's, one of my personal favorites, or if you go to a luxury florist, because they already know what they're doing. So that's pretty good.
And this is a flower season, right? Because this is the holiday that everybody always tends to buy flowers. So what are we going to be learning today about flowers?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you a couple of basic tricks and a couple of advanced tricks. So you get an idea of sort of how simple and then also how complicated you can get some of these things.
Okay.
There's sort of a pipeline for this as well. So, when you're trying to buy flowers, what you want to do is first pick the color that you like. And for romance, for example, everyone picks red. So you go right for the red flowers. And then you pick the vase that's appropriately makes those flowers look good, and then you present and enjoy.
Okay, and so I see we have a whole bouquet of roses in different colors. And so is there a particular color that signifies emotion?
Yeah, so there is. So colorful, if you want to have a soft emotion, you might go for a light pink. If you want to go for romance, you might go for a deep red. I think that it's easy to say that if you're trying to give flowers to a coworker who you think has done a great job, maybe don't give them the red roses. Maybe give them the white roses or the pink roses.
Right,
so
we want to make sure we're sending the right message.
Exactly. So what I have here, I'm going to show you, the first tip I'm going to show you is a lot of people don't realize this, but the number one way you can get your flowers to last longer is you can remove all of the foliage. And I know that sounds funny. Here, why don't you take that?
Okay.
But the roses, they typically come like this, and people say, well, I really love the foliage. Unfortunately, if you want your flower to last, you're going to have to remove all the foliage. So I'm just going to take a few pieces off to show you how easy it is to care for your flower. And then we have both the same, like this. And so another thing we're going to do is we want them to open up a little bit. And so maybe a little bit more of an advanced technique is we're going to turn it upside down like so. And we are going to make nice long spins in our hands.
Oh, nice.
Okay, now that will get it to open and shine a little bit. This is sort of the process we call conditioning and preparing our flowers. So now yours has gotten more open, right?
And so now I have a petal that is kind of...
Yeah, we call that a guard petal.
Okay.
And what we do is we go to the base there and pull.
Okay.
You should hear that snap right there. Pull, okay? And I'm going to open this one up too. I'm going to give it a good old professional spin here. And so we have the difference between the rose that we got and now the spun rose. So you can see it just really opens it and makes it brighter.
Ah, I see. Wow.
So
Such a simple thing that I don't think I've ever even thought about.
Yeah. Well, there's some basic tips. So in this book, the Encyclopedia of Cut Flowers, it has 6 conditioning tips, and this is one of them. And they're good for all the flowers. You usually want your flowers to hydrate for a little while, and then you can start kind of manipulating them, getting them to show. Okay.
All right.
So the next thing I have for you, the next tip is sort of a design tip, okay? So now we've conditioned our flowers, we've gotten them to last longer, and now it's time to make a bouquet to share with a loved one, or in my case, to keep for myself because I love flowers so much. So what we have here is a very unique vase, okay? If you, again, if chapter 4 of this book will kind of show you which vase goes great with which flowers. Because if your flower arrangements aren't looking good, it's not the flower's fault. It's usually the vase's fault. So you have to have the right vase with the right technique, and that will really have your flower shine.
So how do you know what is the right vase for the right flowers?
Well, okay, so this is what we would call a face flower, these roses, because they look nice like this, but really people want to see the flower petals. Okay, the flower petals are really what attract the eye. So I have a low vase here, okay? So the low vase means my binding point is going to be lower and lower and lower. So I'm going to take my flowers like so, and now you're going to see that the blooms are actually pointing out towards the viewers. So it's the correct vase for roses. And this vase often in certain circles is called a rose bowl, because it makes roses look exceptional, okay? So there we go. And now I'm going to take my raffia, and I'm going to take this, and you can do this with all flowers that are face flowers, but you know, all flowers really. And just if you like it, then it's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind this one here. Okay, I'm going to go around a specific sort of floral tie. I'm going to put this down on the table and give it a quick tie. All right, and so my binding point's nice and high, so my roses will look just perfect in this vase.
Right, and so it's important to tie them first.
Yeah.
Before doing any cutting whatsoever.
Yep. Because that way you kind of get them to stay.
Got it.
So that's our first point. And right here I have a nice pair of clippers. All right, and they have to be really nice and sharp. Okay, and now there we go. And now I can make some final adjustments if I need them. Maybe pull this one up, pull this, and I'm going to turn it upside down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it on the vase. I usually go off the table like this so I can get a good height, and I know exactly how to measure or exactly where to cut. I'm going to go ahead here and cut all of these right around the edge here. And now, as you can see, the hole in the top of the vase is where the binding point should sit, and these will go all the way along the bottom. So a lot of people have trouble with this vase because they don't realize the flowers need to be bound. And then there you go. Now you have a beautiful bouquet of roses.
I love this. And this is like you buying flowers independently, right? And putting it together yourself.
Yeah.
Right? As what we call the FIY. I said it right this time.
Yeah.
However, you actually teach this as a profession.
Yeah, so there's a little bit more to it. And now, getting flowers to last a long time, I think that everyone should know. Also, if you don't want to handle the flowers yourself, every man and woman in New York City should have a personal florist that they go to that knows their style. It's really important because, you know, the flowers, there's so many different ones, and they'll know which ones you like or which one the person you're sending them to will like, and they'll always be able to nail it for you. This, for example, would be a very luxurious color-blocked arrangement. It's all one color. And it's all just no foliage, and it's luxury looking. You know, if that's the style that I like, I find a florist who knows how to do that, and then I just send those bouquets all the time. It becomes my signature.
Got it. And so now when it comes to even becoming knowledgeable of flowers, the seasons, that's what the books are for.
That's what the books are for. So this book is a guide to arranging flowers. So what we'll do is we start with picking the color. Once you have the color, then you pick the flowers that fall into that color that you need. And then once you have those flowers, then you need to pick the vase that makes those flowers look good, and then the techniques of putting the flowers in the water. The flowers in the water is not as complicated as some of the other steps, so this kind of illuminates the whole thing here for you.
And so this Valentine season, right? Is there anything that you would say is trending differently?
Yeah, well, I think that certain things are always the same and certain things are different. Number one's the same is that people, ironically, don't want a lot of green foliage in their flower arrangements. They want color. People who see luxury see color. So when you're talking to a florist, you're going to want to do a monocolor and go straight there. But some of the trends now are flowers that are colors that you haven't seen before. And so everyone loves a flower variety that's new and unique. And the growers have picked up on this. So what they're doing is they're adding dyes to the water. It's non-toxic because they don't want to kill the flowers. It's a non-toxic dye that actually makes the flowers change color just slightly, and it becomes something unique. So if you're a flower lover and you love red roses, after a while you might want to say, hey, I could use a different rose. Maybe I'll try the pink rose. And the same is with the tulips. Hey, maybe rather than a white tulip, I'm going to go with a brown tulip and mix it with another yellow tulip, which is something that might be very unique as far as tulips are concerned because people aren't used to that.
I love it. Oh my gosh. I could sit here and listen to everything that you're sharing. I personally love flowers, and what you just shared with us was kind of like a flower version of a tie-dye.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you know, if you don't want to buy those other things, there are other tips I can show you if we have some time. So,
I don't know if we do.
Okay. Well, if you do get flowers, just remember, always buy the freshest ones that you can. Make sure to remove all of the foliage and then put them in water and just enjoy them. And if you want to learn more, pick up some of these books or come on by Flower School in New York. We'll teach you everything you need to know in a short amount of time, and you will leave with all of your flowers, and you'll really enjoy them.
Well, we thank you for bringing it here to us.
Okay.
Yeah, Calvert Crary, everyone. Once again, we were talking everything related to the Flower School, New York. Once again, you can also find Calvert's books, Flower School, and the Encyclopedia of Cut Flowers on Amazon and wherever books are sold. And for more information on Flower School New York, you can visit flowerschoolnewyork.com and on IG at flowerschoolny. And for more on Calvert, you can follow him on Instagram at Calvert_Crary. All right, stay tuned. There's more Open Valentine's episode when we return. Flowers, anyone?
We're gonna start the show right now. This is my favorite part. Ready in 5, 4, 3, 2. Hey, this is Angel, and I am one of the instructors for the in-studio production. Here at BronxNet, we offer classes that can help you elevate, expand, and start your television career. All you have to do is sign up at bronxnet.org/education. For the past 7 years, I have been in various productions, spanning from talk shows, independent films, news reports, art displays, teachings, musical performances, and many more. Ain't that right, Angel? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Angel. There are a lot of creative individuals that we're just waiting to sign up for the class. And if I may, can I also express thank you, Angel. That's all the time we have left. Visit bronxnet.org/education and become a producer by taking the course. The class I offer is also in English, en español y también bilingüe. Nos vemos en la próxima clase.
Everyone, and welcome back to Open. So today's Open artist has been performing since age 4 and is an award-winning, multifaceted performer who's been keeping NYC Latin culture thriving, going on 20 years now. Yeah, she produces and curates outdoor events with a fun and inclusive approach and has been featured in hundreds of commercials, films, and TV shows. She's dedicated to elevating and sustaining Latin culture across the city, including Latin Mondays NYC, which is celebrating its 20th year. Let's take a look at Latin Mondays. you. That's just a tease. That's just a tease. And here to tell us more about her love for dance and keeping Latin culture alive in NYC is producer and performer Talia Castro-Pozo. Hello and welcome.
You, Rhina.
Congratulations.
So great to see you. Thank you so much.
Ay, Dios mío. That was like, oh my gosh, that is your life.
Yes, I mean, it's a great life. You know, I'm always dancing. I'm always creating that community, that wonderful synergy of music and dancing and coming together in this beautiful melting pot that New York is.
Yeah,
so I'm very lucky.
It's an amazing community. I've had the privilege of experiencing it. You catered to me for my birthday, I think 2 years ago.
Yes.
And but back then it was at Taj.
That's right. For 18 years we were at Taj, and now we are at Fifth and Matt. It's a beautiful lounge, restaurant, club that has wonderful sense of hospitality, and we are there on 36th and 5th Avenue since February. So we're gonna it's almost a year. It's a year.
Well,
God.
congratulations on being able to just relocate it like that and continue the tradition of Latin Mondays, right? And let's just share with everybody why it's Latin Mondays.
So it is legendary, you know. Mondays, it's a big industry night. Back in the day, there was no theaters, no Broadway on Mondays. The whole industry will come together and sort of have a day out to enjoy the best live music in New York. The musicians will travel and they will come back to New York on Sunday night and they will perform for New Yorkers on a Monday night. So it really is the night where you don't have to deal with the tourists. You know, you can go out and have this moment of New York's elite industry people, you know? So it's wonderful to keep this tradition alive.
I think it's amazing, and it matters because being in the industry, it's just a whole different vibe when you're surrounded by your peers and you're actually enjoying just being in each other's presence and dancing and not doing any networking, just being.
Just being in the moment. I mean, more than ever, we need that. And, you know, it starts the week right, because on the Tuesday, you're smiling, you're still dancing, thinking salsa. So that's how we start the week. You know?
Love it. I love it. Que vida, que vida.
La buena vida, la buena vida.
Yes,
de la salsa,
yes.
por
All right, so
supuesto.
that's Latin Mondays, but let's talk a little bit about your other endeavors, because you also have the Bryant Park,
Yes,
right?
Bryant
And you
Park.
also have the one on the west side.
Sunset Salsa.
Yes, so I know that's when the weather gets nicer,
Yes.
not right now,
Yes.
but let's just share with our viewers.
Absolutely. The whole idea is to curate these events outdoors more than ever. As you know, after the pandemic, everything shifted. So we definitely have been moving from the clubs to the streets. And it's a global phenomenon, as we know. It's salsa everywhere around the world. People are dancing salsa. So the more the merrier. And being on the streets, being in these public parks really allows for anybody who may feel like they have two left feet and they may not feel brave enough to venture to a club to be able to be a part of it. And that's really the idea.
And you also offer salsa lessons in the
Yes,
process.
all
We're
of
looking
these
at
events have
images
salsa
right now
lessons.
of both these
Absolutely.
endeavors we're
There's so
talking
much
about.
that has been featured. You know, Sunset Salsa is also going over 10 years. Bryant Park is coming back now in April. So it's around the
right
corner.
around the corner.
Around the corner. And then everything else opens up. I do collaborations with Lincoln Center, the Bronx Museum, Wave Hill. So there is really a lot of different beautiful events for people to enjoy this summer.
Right,
Yes.
to dance salsa.
Yes,
That's
hacer
right.
la salsa.
Salsa con Talia.
Eso, así es.
And so just going back to Latin Mondays, because we are celebrating your 20th anniversary,
Yes.
and you have a massive lineup coming up every single Monday beginning February 23rd.
I mean, it's every Monday. It's really, that was Jimmy Bosch,
Right,
by the
I
way,
know,
who is
come
the
on,
king
Grammys,
of salsa
yeah,
dura in
and,
Nueva York. So, I mean, this is his second home. He's there all the time. But we do want to celebrate and be able to bring also artists from international artists and up-and-coming artists. Alfredo de la Fe is going to start with us, join us on February 23rd. I mean, 100 recordings, Celia Cruz, Tito Puente, Eddie Palmieri, Santana. I mean, he's a living legend of the violin. We have artists also like Luisito Quintero with 700 recordings, 60 Grammys. I mean, you know, Willy Torres Orchestra. He also is a Spanish orchestra leader, percussion and multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, producer, also 4 Grammys. I mean, it's going to be great. We're going to close with a special guest from Venezuela via Madrid. Oscar Dudamel, El Papa, the father of Gustavo Dudamel, our new conductor from the New York Philharmonic. So we're really excited to have someone who's doing a debut. And for him, he says, coming from Venezuela, it's a dream come true to be able to play in New York. And he's promoting a new CD, Sueño Alcanzado. So we're very, very excited about this.
Oh my gosh! All right, and so just for clarity purposes, they're not going to all be there on the same night. This is every single
Unfortunately,
Monday.
You have to choose the dates because we also have salsa urbana, we're going to have timba, salsa dura, Colombian salsa. So you should look at the calendar and pick your night. You know, whatever may suit you. You don't have to dance. You can go have dinner. You can have a cocktail. You can have a date. Or you can join the class at 7 and you can dance. Or, I mean, you can do anything you wish there.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so let's talk a little bit about that because you always offer dance classes.
Always, because it's a great opportunity to introduce dance to a new audience. And a lot of people feel intimidated. Let's be real. I mean, I grew up in the dance world, so that's all I know. And I've been dancing since I'm 4. But for a lot of people, this is a great opportunity to really learn a little bit, just enough to get by, you know, and have a good time to the live music. Because once the live music comes, you're going to want to dance.
Right, and so at least know a few steps, right?
Yeah, just get up, you know, on the table. It's like I see the concerts at Lehman Center, right? Like people stand up and just move a little bit.
In the aisles.
At the Super Bowl, we're going to be dancing. Come on, you got to know at least your New York basic.
Okay, and so here's a question for you. What's a good time for somebody to arrive? Right, so like they arrive to what is it?
Yeah, Latin Mondays at 5th and Mad, of course.
5th and Mad, that's the new spot, guys.
Yes.
Forgive me if
5th and Mad,
I forgot
sí.
because you know you used to be at Taj all these years.
Y como Tito Puente dice, él dice la quinta y madness.
Okay.
Ya
Oh, I like that. La
exactly.
Quinta and Madness. That's a good one. I'll remember it like that.
Exactly, yeah.
And so what's a good time for somebody to go? And should they be making reservations?
Yes, if you want to have dinner, make reservations. If you want to just come after work, if you're in the city, you know, between 6 to 8, we have a 2-for-1. Maybe having a couple cocktails may feel you're more, you know, loosened and ready to dance, absolutely. So I would say come before the live music. But 9 o'clock is when the band begins, so,
And
you know.
the classes begin at 7.
At 7, correct,
At 7.
yes.
And that's just free. That's offered.
It's all included with the admission.
Right.
We have an Eventbrite where you can buy discounted tickets or you can buy tickets at the door.
Wonderful. And
Yes.
then before we end this segment, I know you're going to be giving us a little taste of salsa con
Yes, I
Talia.
invited an amazing instructor from Colombia. Jorge Riascos is also with us every Monday teaching the class, and he's so much fun. He's a wonderful artist.
Oh my gosh, and we're so excited to
Yeah,
bring it to
we're gonna
you
dance
guys.
for you guys.
Yay!
Whee!
All right, once again, Talia Castro-Pozo. Stay tuned, you guys, because when we return, Talia is going to present a salsa dance performance that will set your heart ablaze this Valentine's Day. Don't go anywhere.
There's a new channel to explore, and it's bringing the classics back to life. During the day, relive the BronxNet originals that sparked conversations and built community. At night, dive into the hip-hop throwbacks that defined the generation. One destination, 2 powerful lineups. Now playing on Optimum Channel 952, Fios 2138, and streaming at BronxNet.tv. BX Legacy, where history meets the moment.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Here now to perform Caras Lindas. Please welcome Talia Castro-Pozo and her dancing partner, Jorge Riasco.
Las caras lindas de mi gente negra son un desfile de velas en flor que cuando pasa frente a mí se alegra de su negrura todo el corazón. Las caras lindas de mi raza prieta tienen de llanto, de pena y dolor. Son las verdades que la vida reta, pero que llevan dentro mucho amor. Somos la melaza que ríe que ama y en cada beso que conmovedora. Por eso vivo orgulloso de su colorido. Somos betún amable de clara poesía. Tienen su ritmo, tienen melodía, las caras lindas de mi gente negra. Las caras lindas, lindas pero mira qué lindas son. Las caras lindas de mi gente. Tienen de llanto mucha melodía, te digo, Belén, tienen belleza y también tienen poesía de la bien linda. Las caras lindas, las caras lindas, las caras lindas de mi gente negra. Carita linda de gente.
Bravo, bravo, Talia, Jorge, everyone. Oh my gosh. Las caras lindas. Remember, you guys, Latin Mondays kicks off its 20th anniversary, February 23rd, with a heavy-hitting lineup every single week at 5th and Mad. And be sure to follow Latin Mondays on Instagram at Latin Mondays NYC. And be sure to visit Talia's website, Talia Castro-Pozo. -Pozo.com for the entire schedule. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through. And to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out this episode throughout the weekend and 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Happy Black History Month, mi gente. Ya tú sabes, and happy Valentine's Day. Everybody, be love. Adios!
Las caras lindas de mi gente negra son un desfile de velas en flor, que cuando pasa frente a mí se alegra de su negrura todo el corazón. Las caras lindas de mi raza prieta tienen de llanto, de pena y dolor. Son las verdades que la vida reta, pero que llevan dentro mucho amor. Somos la melaza que ríe, la melaza que